Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Now, stand back for your own safety.
Steve, what's up?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Steve. Where Paulie at?
Here we go.
I'm checking out. I will respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
Yes. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac.
3, 2, 1, and
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Steve Infanti and Paulie Sibilia.
Check it out. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Steve Infanti as we welcome you into a Wednesday edition of Orange Nation. We've got two guests lined up for you on the show today. Matt Martucci, he is the voice of St. Joe's basketball. Cuse guy, he'll be on with us at 12:30. And then coming up at 1 o'clock, we'll have Adrian Autry on since they play on Thursday. We'll bump him up a day. We'll get Adrian Autry's thoughts on this matchup with the Hawks coming up tomorrow. We'll ask him about Donnie Freeman, plus so much more. And we'll mix in your phone calls throughout. 315-437-7644. What's up, Paulie?
Not much. Having fun right now, Steve. Pulling up the Fat Boys.
Yeah.
I'm way late, Jay. I'm behind schedule.
Behind the eight ball?
Yes. I struggled with Lemoyne out the box. Went to overtime with
Youngstown State.
Yes, I'm way behind the eight ball in my tournament resume.
All right. Are you glad that we voted on the Fat Boys now that you're pulling the music?
It's been fun. I haven't heard a lot of these songs in a long time.
Right. See, there you go. You should have voted for them yesterday.
I can't stress how important this St. Joe's game is. Like, every game is going to be important. You cannot slip up against St. Joe's. You need to go out and put your foot on their throat and make them feel like they are not on the same level as a mid-major as one Syracuse University basketball.
Yeah, and they've had they've had a week off to get ready for this game, more than a week off. You do wonder, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's a good thing. I mean, they played four really tough games in the span of 8 days. They had the 3 in Vegas. They had Tennessee. They played them in a short period of time. I do think the week off was good for them. You hope that they can jump right back in with same intensity that they had against, Tennessee and Houston in particular.
I think that intensity paying off will allow them to do it again.
Right. You got to do this game in and game out.
Yeah.
Got to do it game in and game out. And I don't know if you had a chance to watch St. Joseph's play at all last night, but they had their best player go off last night for 25 points, 7 made threes. Jaden Glover Toscano, St. John's transfer. They shot the ball really well in the first half. They built up a big lead, and they had an easy time with Coppin State. But this is a team that Syracuse clearly should go out and they should. I say dominate. They should win by double figures, right? I think that's the expectation going into this game tomorrow. You're back from this break. You go out and, you capitalize on the win over Tennessee by stacking wins now to close out the non-conference schedule. And it starts with St. Joe's tomorrow. Double-digit win. You feel like, all right, that's what they should do to this team.
Yeah, and they need to do that this whole stretch. And my goodness, let's get Donnie Freeman back in the rotation.
Yeah.
I can't stress enough that you want him back before Clemson. You need at least 2 games of him before Clemson. Now, do I know if they're going to get that? No. But you don't want to try and work him back in conference games, because if there is even the slightest drag on continuity or, chemistry, building it back, you want it against, the lower level teams.
And that would give them another week and a half if it was 2 games. If they gave them Northeastern and Stonehill, they play Northeastern on the 20th. So it does give them an opportunity to rest them a little bit more if they feel like they need to. Maybe they don't need to. We will try to get an answer from Adrian Autry later today. I did check in with the team spokesperson yesterday, just asked if his availability had been decided for Thursday, and I was told not yet. So we'll see if Adrian Autry has any sort of update for us today.
His last thing that I heard him say live and to someone was, he's day to day, he's week to week.
Right.
So that doesn't really that doesn't
clear anything up.
Yeah, it makes it sound like it could be better, or it could be a long period of time.
Right. He did tell us last week. He said he's moving better. We saw against Tennessee, he was on the bench with, his foot was not in a boot. So that, that's certainly a good sign. So there are indications that he's moving along. We asked him last week, we said, is this something that's going to linger, or when he's back, can he get back to 100% this season? And, Red said, my understanding is he can be 100%. That's the expectation. So I think there are encouraging signs here. We don't have a date yet.
Yeah. And he is a big part of whether or not they're going to be a tournament team. They can win without him, though. They've shown that. Last year's team could not win without him.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to watch Clemson at all last night?
I was watching it with you, Steve. Don't you remember?
Well, we texted at the end of the game. I didn't know how much of the game that you saw.
That is, Clemson played a great half. BYU played a terrible half. BYU played a great half. Clemson played a terrible half, and then just a gut-wrenching loss.
Gut-wrenching loss. To tie it up in the final seconds, and you think you're going into overtime, and BYU draws up a play with 1.3 seconds left or whatever it was. Gets a look at a 3 at the buzzer, makes it, and BYU comes back from down 22 in the second half to win that game. It was a 21-point game at the half. They were down 22 early in the second half, and BYU is really good. A.J. DeBonsta, he was every bit as good as advertised. 22 points in the second half. But that's a good Clemson team, and we're looking at this as could that be a quad 1 game
at home? Probably not.
They've been hovering, and I think last night would have, if they get that one last night, then it would have been trending that it would be. So at the moment, they're 27, so they're inside the top 30 at the moment, even with that loss last night. So it's possible that could be a quad 1. I don't know if that'll hold up over the course of the entire season, but it's either going to be a low quad 1 opportunity or a high quad 2, you would think. So that is a really important game. So SU's got this stretch now, these 5 games to close out the non-conference, handle your business, and then they've got a really good opportunity on New Year's Eve to notch a quality win at home, whether it's a low quad 1 or high quad 2. That would be a good win.
Yes. And Steve, I don't know if you know this or not, but I love Bubble Talk.
Yes, you do.
And I just went on Bracket Matrix, and Syracuse, after the Tennessee win, they were on 0 brackets prior. They are now on 4.
Okay.
10 and 11 seeds.
That's progress.
Yes. Let's get
progress.
there. That's bubble talk, right? That puts you on the bubble, at least in 4 people's mind. You are on the bubble.
Yeah. At 5 if you count you. So
yes.
No, that's. Listen, it's progress, and we'll see where this goes. But I think the general consensus, and we talked a little bit about this, yesterday on the show when we had Brendan Marks on. The consensus is that the ACC is probably going to get 6 or so teams in the tournament this year, and there's a lot of. There's a feeling among the national media, and I know Jay Billis was talking about last night, Seth Greenberg was talking about last night, that the ACC is much improved. So if they've been getting 4 and 5, it stands to reason they could get 6, maybe 7, depending on what the bubble looks like. And is SU capable of finishing 5th or 6th? Right, that's what they got to do. The top 4, it might be tough to crack, but 5th or 6th seems reasonable. There's going to be several teams in that mix. Can they be the 1 or 2 in that mix that is able to crack the NCAA tournament?
Yep. Here's another thing that is a problem with the ACC. Like, could they get 6 in? Yes. But I've also, in my head, done the math that you could win 22 games overall and not have a great win on your resume. You could still lose all the big games, still have 22 wins, and you're a 1 seed in the NIT. Yeah.
Right. No, I mean, it's true. I mean, there is a fine line between, getting in the tournament and not. And, that win over Tennessee was a must to be able to hang their hat on something in the non-conference. So they have that. They check that box. And now you got to go into conference play, and you've got to win. A, you've got to win enough games. B, you've got to beat some of the right teams. Do you have to beat Carolina, Duke, and Louisville? You don't need to win all of them. It would be nice to get one of them, or win at Virginia, or whatever. You got to have be able to hang your hat on something in conference as well. Yeah,
you got the Tennessee win. If you can knock off a North Carolina, a Clemson potentially, just. You win the game.
You're at NC State this year,
Yeah, they're struggling a little, but let's not get a bad loss on the resume where you have to win 2 of those games to make up for your loss.
Right.
Whereas if you get no bad losses and one more quad 1 win, you're okay, and then you get one more and you're. Yeah, I think 3 or 4 quad 1s, you're pretty firmly in.
Yeah, you say NC State's struggling. They're 6-3. They're not as good as I think most people thought. They're still 42nd in the net. Like that's a solid quad 1 opportunity.
If they lose some ACC games, if they've given up hundreds of points,
sure.
So
you would anticipate they're going to stay in the top 75. I think that's at least that's the expectation right now. Miami's well within the top 40 as well. There are opportunities out there, and again, as it stands at the moment. According to Ken Palm, for what it's worth, they've got 8 opportunities the rest of the way for quad 1 wins, and that includes this one against Clemson coming up on New Year's Eve. But before then, there's certainly work to be done. We mentioned this on the show yesterday that according to the analytics, the toughest game in this stretch coming up is the Hofstra game. Hofstra. Again, Ken Palm has it as a 9-point SU win today. It was 10 yesterday, and they've got it as a 9-point SU win.
What happened?
What happened? Did Hofstra play last night is the question. No, Hofstra did not play.
So somebody that lost to Hofstra won.
Yeah, right,
nonsense.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's nonsense.
Right.
Just go out and win by what you are supposed to, which is Hofstra, I'd put it 15. You got to win by 15 or more. Thank you.
Okay.
There.
You've spoken. Thank you.
I'm not mincing words.
Yeah.
Go out and beat Hofstra or St. Joe's, Hofstra, all of them by 15 or more. You got to separate yourself this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think double digits is important.
You had your one close one with a lower level team in Monmouth.
The Monmouth game.
Now you can't do that again, okay? Talk to you like children now too. Can't do that. That's bad.
All right, that is our opening drive. It's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero. We'll open up the phone lines now, 315-437-7644. Matt Martucci, St. Joe's play-by-play man, coming up at 12:30.
I hope they're not driving in this, are they? They're driving up today.
Oh, I think they're driving up as we speak. Was my thought. That's what I was told. They're driving up now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we also forgot that Joe Lenardi is their actual color analyst.
Yes.
So he doesn't just sit in his basement like a lot of people think.
That's right. He was on the broadcast last night. I thought we were going to save that. I thought we were going to surprise the listeners with that.
I don't even know if we are.
Okay.
But I mean, just oops. Did I miss a meeting?
I mean, we texted about it last night.
I didn't realize it was a secret.
Okay.
And guess who else is in the car randomly? Get him out of your trunk. You've kidnapped Joe Lenardi.
We were going to say, hey, Matt, why don't you, hand the phone to your passenger there, and then that's okay. So yes, Joe Lenardi and Matt Martucci driving up together.
I suck.
That's okay. That's okay.
I ruined the
perfect
surprise.
Game is ruined.
I ruined the surprise. I didn't know it was going to be a surprise.
Well, if you read your text messages, you would have.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It's okay. I
was also watching the Clemson game.
It was. That's right. You were riveted.
Yes.
Clemson BYU held your attention. It was a good game. All right. So, yes, Joe Lenardi will be in the car with Matt Martucci.
I probably am getting you an autograph of a Buffalo Bill for Christmas. Might as well just ruin all of it. all of the surprises.
I did get an email.
Surprise busters.
I did get an email yesterday about the Buffalo Bills mystery box is now available. And I thought of you.
I bought one of those damn things for you, and now I get peppered with emails and texts.
I believe it, because I didn't buy one and I got an email about it. All right, we'll take a time out here. Phone lines open if you want to check in. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
Catch the Syracuse basketball pregame prior to every game. Built by IKEA.
I didn't mean that. I didn't realize it was a surprise. Sorry. I don't read every text message in a chain. I just try and... It's why I was a C student and you got a 3.9. I got the key points out of the Cliff Notes and...
I'm looking at the exchange right here, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, if it's more than 3 sentences, I'm not reading it.
It was one... No, it was just 2 sentences from Tim. It was a long 2 sentences, but it was only 2 sentences.
Yeah. Same thing with Facebook. If it says more that I have to click on, I'm not. I just ruined a surprise nobody knew was a surprise. LA Orange, and by the way, Steve read all of those stats of his defensive improvements on the air the day after the hire. It's not like some breaking news, like, why didn't you guys get that? It's basically available to everybody in a press release.
Why? What was the?
Nothing. They're calling us out for not breaking down his defensive stat numbers.
Karras?
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. How you said he was ranked this.
Oh, yeah. We did.
Yeah,
we did
but
that.
it was, how come you guys
I did that on the news as well. You should watch the news.
How come you guys didn't do that like Brent did?
Yeah, no, we definitely did that.
Why do we need the Toledo folks to read stats to us? They're stats. You don't need somebody from Toledo to tell you that he went from this in defense to that in defense. It's a stat. Now, if you went to him and said, he's a personality guy, this is what he does, he's friendly, I've had this interaction with him, yes. But to get stats from them is not impressive. Yeah, I just said that. But you guys are giving them credit for reading stats. No, we got red on it 1. Dominic, I played Christmas at Ground Zero for you yesterday. Did you guys post anything but the stats? Interesting stat is what it actually says in the message that you guys were giving props for. How can mid-major success translate to P4? Well, it does have to translate. He had nothing, it's a great win in getting the guy you want. It's like winning eBay. You're not actually winning. You got what you wanted. You haven't won anything, right? Isn't that what hiring a coach, an off-season win is? It's like winning an auction. You won, you got what you wanted. Now it's got to translate to actual wins. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Dino had some Power 4 success, too. Why are you gurring me? Fat Boys, Steve. Remembering one of the Fat Boys.
I'm glad you had fun putting this together today.
Thank you.
All right, we've got Matt Martucci and Joe Lenardi coming up at 12:30.
You want to get into the what do we got here?
Talking the new hire for Syracuse football.
Yeah.
New defensive line coach Jeremy Hawkins. According to reports, Jeremy Hawkins coming to Syracuse from Georgia State. Will replace Elijah Robinson as the defensive line coach, but it's kind of a 2-for-1 in that Nick Williams left to go down to Florida State. He went to Georgia, had strong recruiting ties in the Georgia area. So does Jeremy Hawkins coming from Georgia State. Fran and the Georgia State head coach Del McGee worked together on the staff at Georgia. This young man, he's 39, young guy. Up and comer, known for recruiting, has more than a decade's worth of experience coaching the D-line. And so this feels like it addresses both things. It obviously addresses the loss of Elijah Robinson at the D-line position. It also addresses Nick Williams with his strong ties to Georgia.
Yeah, and I was just saying, they got another guy that I assume they wanted in this situation. And I kind of attributed these offseason wins are like bidding on eBay. Right? You win an auction, but you're not really winning anything. You're getting what you wanted, and that's does that make sense to you? Like they went out and got the defensive lineman they bid on over Nebraska, who was also bidding on him. So you won in that sense.
Right. Now is it worth
now
it?
Is it worth it?
Did you get what you paid for?
Yes. Do you it's like flipping houses.
Yeah.
You got the house, now can you build it up and flip it to get more out of it?
I mean,
because you didn't win anything.
Yeah.
Like I win auctions on eBay all the time, but I'm losing money.
Yeah, I mean, you won his services. Like if you're talking about Vince Karras in particular, there was a guy that, to your analogy there, several people were bidding on, and he chose your school. So you won his services. Yes. And you went after him because you thought he was the right guy and the right fit for this program. And that's what building a staff is all about. That it's you gotta pick and choose, and you gotta check some boxes. And again, I think that this hire, at least from the outside looking in, and you're right, we don't see. I feel like we know more about Vince Karras than we do certainly about this latest hire in Jeremy Hawkins, but. You look from the outside, looking in, what does he provide? He provides, again, he's worked with D-line. That's really strictly all he's worked with over the course of his 10-plus years in this business. And he's got strong recruiting ties. He's a good recruiter, and he's got strong ties to the Georgia area. Check, check, check. You like all that, and I'm sure that those are the reasons they went after him.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat asked, how does lower level translate to Power 4 level? You don't know. You hope that they're good enough, and we'll all find out together.
Right.
You don't know. But if you're a good coach, you're a good coach.
Yeah, and Fran obviously went after him for a reason, and we'll see how it all plays out. But it's slowly but surely coming together. We should mention in talking about news from yesterday, Derek McDonald hitting the transfer portal. I've had a chance to kind of get to know him a little bit. He was he was in one of the summer classes that I taught in Newhouse. Just he was a very good football player, but just a really good young man, right? He's got his priorities straight, does really well in school, does work in the community. He's a really good football player. He put in the time here, 5 years, dealt with a ton of injuries on and off. And, this year it didn't play out the way he wanted it to. He only played in 4 games. Then he had to have surgery. And now, so he gets the year back, and he's got the medical red shirt. So he gets the 6th year, and he's decided to use that 6th year somewhere else. But he's one of those that, he's going to succeed in life in whatever he does. And he will be missed. Not just his football ability, but just the kind of leader he was and the kind of, the representation he was for this program.
Yeah. And people there's someone in the chat saying about I want to go back to this Power 4 thing. Like Kirk Cignetti was not a Power 4 coach. To say Dino didn't work doesn't mean not everybody's going to work, Yeah, I mean,
we're talking about Jeremy Hawkins in particular, about whether or not this is going to
No, I think he's talking about all, the past 2, you've got a MAC coach coming in to be your defensive coordinator, and now your defensive line coach is from the Sun Belt, You know,
I mean, you got to get a start somewhere, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much that plays into it.
and like just because Dino had some success here, you know, he didn't have great
I
success.
mean, it's like with college basketball. For every Dalton Connect, there's a Jaquan Carlos. You know, I mean, it just because somebody, you know, if you go to a lower level, it doesn't mean you can't compete at the next level. It just means that it's not a slam dunk.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to see how your skills translate, right, from the lower level to the higher level.
Jim Boeheim got hired from being the golf coach and an assistant. You know, it's like you don't know.
Right. Right. I mean, Jeff Van Gundy, look at his path from where he started to where he ended up.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I read into that. I think, you just said a moment ago, if you're a good coach, you're a good coach.
Yeah.
And, not everybody's going to pan out. That's why there's some that are better than others.
Yeah. And the reason you're in the situation you're in now is because you don't feel like the coaches you had panned out.
Right.
So, that's why you have to win the offseason because you lost in the regular season.
Yeah, and again, with the Nick Williams thing, I mean, I don't know that he didn't pan out. I think he did a nice job, especially from a recruiting perspective. I think that could be a case where, they're bringing in a new defensive coordinator, and, a lot of times, a DC or an offensive coordinator, for that matter, will bring in some of their own people. And, Nick Williams saw another opportunity at Florida State, and he decided to go for it. So I don't know if it was necessarily a case of Nick Williams didn't, pan out, or he just got another job and they had to replace that position on the staff. But they do have their new defensive line coach, Jeremy Hawkins. Let's take a time out here. When we return, we're going to talk basketball. We're going to talk with Matt Martucci. He calls play-by-play for St. Joseph's basketball, and he's driving to Syracuse, as
Hopefully
Paulie
not in the
mentioned,
snow.
with one Joe Lenardi. And so, assuming they're in the car, if they're in the car together, we will try to talk to them both. So we're going to get the lowdown on St. Joe's. Maybe we can ask Joe a question or two just as it pertains to Syracuse in the NCAA tournament. We'll take a time out here. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
I've done a couple. Matt usually gets the bulk of those calls because he's the play-by-play guy. I'm sure Steve's done a couple.
I mean, a lot of times I'll do like the TV ones for
TVs,
other Next Star stations and stuff. Yeah.
Sure, Tim does some. But Park's going to get the majority of them. Like when he drives to games with me, he's usually doing those interviews in the back seat or the front seat of the car while we're driving. I'm tired today. Do you have a bun on you today, Steve? You have any carbs on you?
No, I didn't bring any bread today.
I don't have enough Fat Boy songs. Oh, you did. You wore a blue quarter zip.
I did that on purpose.
Oh, look at you.
Who asked for it?
Boss Sandwich.
Boss Sandwich. I got you. I did it for you.
How'd you sleep, Steve?
I did okay. Okay.
Surprise?
The terms of your Uncle Frederick's will.
I got the video version.
Not a great start to this segment.
Are you ready for Freddy? This is their version of Nightmare on Elm Street, the Fat Boys.
All right. With that,
I ruined the surprise.
That's okay. Let's go to our guest line and bring on Matt Martucci, play-by-play man for St. Joe's basketball. Is a Cuse guy, 2006 grad at Syracuse. Matt, great to have you on. When's the last time you were back on campus? Just curious.
Yeah, it's funny, guys, and great to be with you. Was just telling Tim, your producer, that it's probably been 2019. Was up to do a Colgate football game, and I think that was the last time. So about 6 years.
Wow. All right. So I would assume you're looking forward to it. What's your go-to spot when you come back? Where do you got to go?
I mean, it's probably cliche as a Cuse grad, but got to get a slice of pizza at the Varsity, and we're going to dinner at Dino most likely tonight. I'm gonna take Joe Lenardi there and show him what the original dinosaur barbecue is all about.
All right. Has he ever been? Has Joe ever been?
I don't know. He's sitting here in the back. Have you ever been to Dinosaur Barbecue?
We went to the one in Rochester.
Oh. Yeah, the one in Rochester.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. He's got to go to the one in Syracuse. Go ahead.
How's the before we get into this? How's the drive? Because we've got
it's not great
snow
here.
Watching effect here.
So we're on the Northeast Extension. We just left Philadelphia probably, 20, 25 minutes ago. Just a little wet. Ground is bare at the moment, so that's good.
All right.
Just be ready when you get here.
Yeah, be safe. Tonight's not looking great. So, be safe as you get closer to Syracuse, certainly. All right.
I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, so tell us about this game last night. I mean, we had a chance to watch it and get a sneak peek at St. Joe's. And, Coppin State's not all that good. But, St. Joe's went out there and did what they were supposed to do and, made a lot of shots early, had a big lead, and ran away with it. What stood out to you from that performance from this team last night?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the way that they finished it, the fact that they were able to build up a nice working margin and then pushed it over 20 points, kept it there, didn't relent. At the end of the day, still trying to figure out exactly what to make of this team. This is not, as you can attest to, you've seen the perimeter numbers, although they were a lot better last night. This is not a particularly good team from the perimeter. Very good free throw shooting team, and actually a decent team from two as well. But, as heavy as analytics factor into the game these days and how much everybody loves the three-point shot, this isn't a great perimeter team. But to answer your question, nice to be on a win streak and nice to be in a decent spot in the middle of non-conference play with with 5 non-conference games to go.
So, you say on a little winning streak here, and I wanted to ask you about that. So they lost 3 straight early on, including, to one of Steve Donahue's former teams, their rivals from Penn. But they've won 4 straight, as you alluded to, including a win over Temple. So what has changed for this team, the last couple of weeks? What has gotten better over the course of this winning streak?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was just the re-addition of Anthony Finkley into the rotation. That obviously was a little bit of a shot in the arm. He didn't necessarily have the greatest game on the road at UNLV. Ended up sitting the next game for personal reasons. Rutgers Camden came back against Princeton, was not particularly effective offensively, but some of the things that he did in terms of being able to pass the ball and distribute and be one of the leaders of this team, that ended up making a difference. And then Temple game came in and hit a couple of threes, and they've been better since. I'll be perfectly honest with you. In order for this team to be successful, they need him. They need Jaden Glover-Toscano. They need Deuce Jones. But Anthony Finkley, Steve Donahue would tell you, is the one that has been most affected by this coaching transition, with Billy Lang leaving in late August. Coach Donahue taking over because obviously Anthony Finkley is one of a handful of guys that have been in this program in the past and spent his first 2 years here. So I think that's been part of the difference for them. And the Temple win, Deuce Jones, they got what they've come to expect from him, which is a night in between 17, 18 and 23 points a game. He's a volume guy that can shoot you right in and shoot you right out of a basketball game. But when he gets going, like he did at the end of that Temple game, he ended up having the last 10 points, brought them back from a 5-point deficit, had something like 7 points in like a minute and 20 seconds or something like that. They can potentially be dangerous. Now, against the Syracuse team that can play zone and has plenty of length, I don't know how that's going to play out.
Matt, I wanted to ask you about the coaching change, and it did come at a rather odd time, right? Most coaches that leave, it's in the spring, and you have the whole summer to kind of figure things out. This one was late in the game. How surprised, how caught off guard, I guess, was St. Joseph's by the change? And how are things going with, Steve Donahue coming in, and how's that transition been?
Yeah, I think I would be lying to you if it said it didn't catch people off guard. Anytime you're a month before the start of the season and something like that happens, I would be the first person to tell you, no, I did not expect it. I can remember it was right around, I want to say right around Labor Day weekend, and it was like the Monday after a long weekend, Monday or Tuesday, and I got a text from someone that said, hey, did you see this? And I said, no, but I'm seeing it now. So it obviously came as a shock. The good news was Steve Donahue was already in place, had been hired in the spring, was able to build a rapport with these guys, already had, a pre-existing relationship with some of them. So that made it a little bit easier. But no, it was definitely a surprise for sure.
As you look at this matchup tomorrow against Syracuse, I don't know how much you've had a chance to watch them this year, but they seem vastly improved from what we've seen the last, really few years, last 4 years or so. What stands out to you as you get ready to call this game about Syracuse?
Just the fact that it looks like, and you would know better than me, but it looks like they're defending like a tournament team.
Yeah.
I'm pretty heavy on Ken Pom. Anybody that's in the top 40 in terms of defensive efficiency, effective field goal percentage, turnover percentage, and 2-point D, and in one or two of those categories in the top 15, that's got my attention. So obviously that's pretty significant. The fact that Kyan Anthony obviously has been the real deal. I know Donnie Freeman has been out the last few games, but to have potentially at least 2 future pros on your roster and to be defending the way that they are, I think is pretty impressive. Haven't gone back and watched all of the Tennessee game. Plan to do that tonight. But, yeah, I would say just the way that they've defended as a whole.
You brought up Ken Palm. Ken Palm has this as a 14-point Syracuse win. With that in mind, lay out the blueprint for St. Joe's and how they keep this thing close, how they give themselves a chance in the final 5 minutes or so to pull out an upset.
And being kind of an average to below average perimeter team and leaning a little more on the below average side, I think they're going to have to shoot over their head. I think from the perimeter more than anything. If Jaden Glover-Toscano can shoot to his capability, if Deuce Jones can somehow get into the teeth of that zone and make some plays, then maybe this is a tighter game than like a 10 or 12 point game. I don't know that I have a great answer to that question. Oh, and defensively, Justice Ajabal has been more effective in the last 2 games simply because he's been healthier than he has pretty much all season. So if they can get a little more consistency from their front court as well, then maybe potentially they can be in this game.
All right, Matt, great insight. If you wouldn't mind, we would love it if you could hand the phone over to your partner there, Joe. We just have a couple questions. My partner here loves bubble talk. Paulie loves to talk bubble. So if you could have Joe get involved, we'd appreciate it.
Yep, we will. Steve will pass the phone back to him right now.
All right. I love it. This is live radio. We're passing the phone.
And
back.
I ruined the surprise.
You did ruin the surprise, but yes, Joe Lunardi is joining us as well. He's provides color analyst as Matt Martucci does the play-by-play for St. Joe's basketball. Joe, how you doing today?
Guys, you should know I'm thrilled to be asked, but this week I'm only making comments about the college football bracket.
Okay, so Notre Dame, go.
Screw them.
All right, what stands out to you about this Syracuse team from what you've seen to this point, Joe?
Well, I watched the entirety of the Tennessee game and 2 of the 3 games from the Players era, and Cuse went 0-3 in those games, but they were all real games, especially Houston, as you know. And I thought to myself, they're better than I thought. Particularly, for this being early in the year and with a lot of new faces. Full disclosure, I worked with a handful of ACC schools in the off-season on scheduling this year at the league's request. So I, did have some conversations with the coaching staff, Red and in particular Brendan Strawn, who had been at St. Joe's for a couple of years. And I think what you're seeing now is they're taking advantage of opportunities on the schedule. Like that Tennessee game is going to end up as an upper quad 1 win. And now I look at the middle of the ACC and I see a much stronger collection of potential bubble teams, including the Orange. So I think where you might have come into the year being, hopeful of being in the NCAA conversation, I believe that Syracuse will, in fact, be in the NCAA conversation, which, of course, is great news for the Orange and horrible for the bracketologists.
How important is, they got this, what you say is going to be an upper quad 1 win is, but how many do you think a team needs, and how important is we've seen it, Syracuse beat Duke at home and didn't make the tournament. How important is it to get one on the road?
I think getting one away from home is certainly helpful. What we saw last year with North Carolina kind of upset a lot of the past assumptions. I mean, what were they, 1-12 or 1-13 in quad 1, which apparently is disqualifying for 364 other schools, but worked for Carolina and, having the chair of the committee. So, far be it for me to be bitter, but the committee really went beyond itself with that selection, at least in terms of past precedent. Look, you cannot get in anymore without quad 1 wins, plural. and in spite of the exception we saw. And it's not so much a road game, but away from home. That's why, if Syracuse had gotten a win in Vegas, right now I have them on the outside looking in, but very close. They might very well be in already. And then, we'll see what they can do in the league. It's a marathon anymore with these 18 and 20 game conference schedules. And you in order to get the quality wins that you need in a league like the ACC, assuming that it's, that it hit bottom the last couple of years and is on the rebound, and I'm in that camp, you can't help but win a couple games away from home that will be resume builders. I think they're a live dark horse at this point.
All right. Well said. I know that is pleasing for SU fans to hear, the fact that you think that they're close and man, that Houston game.
Yeah, no, you hit one free throw in regulation, and
this would be a different topic.
You could be talking about a team that he's already got in.
Yeah, right, for sure.
Well, heck, hit a free throw in regulation, and you win the 87 championship over Purvis Ellison in Louisville. But I'm old enough to have watched the game and remember it.
Yeah.
All right.
But, guys, we have to give the props. I can read the room. I'm on my way to Syracuse, and I'd like my hotel room not to get egged.
Joe, you're a good sport. Thanks for coming on. All our best to Matt as well. Have a safe trip. It's not great here, so be safe as you guys drive.
All right.
Enjoy your time.
You need this knucklehead?
No,
we're good. We're good. Phone again?
No, we're good. Tell Matt thank you for us, and we'll see you guys inside the Dome tomorrow. That's Joe Lunardi, Matt Martucci, calling the game for St. Joseph's tomorrow inside the Dome. We'll take a time out here. We'll open up the phone lines at 315-437-7644. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
It's got us losing to Louisville in the championship. We got the Autry show tonight, but it's not Autry. That makes sense. What is happening? Oh, that's probably what's happening. Did you hear me?
No, I'm sorry. It's something important.
I said we have the Autry show tonight, but it's not Coach Autry. People will get a chance to meet all of the assistants tonight.
Oh.
Because we talked to Autry last week, and there hasn't been a game. So we're going to have each one of the assistants on tonight.
Nice.
It's like talking, this relationship is falling apart.
So my son was supposed to have a Christmas concert tonight, and it was literally just canceled. So that changes my day considerably. So I was just like thinking,
ignoring me.
I wasn't ignoring you. I was dealing with something.
That was No, I have never considered that. Jesus, LA Orange. Yes, he screwed it up. Well, we all know the he's a good guy. He's funny. He said screw him to Notre Dame. I like him. I am family, Kevin. He told me I'm family, so he's not family first. He's a hoax. Isn't your kid's concert getting canceled good news?
It is, but it changes things. I had to inform my dad. Luke was going to come, so I have to inform him. I had told Mario that I was going to take the 6 off because I needed him to cover for me because the concert starts at 6:30 and the kindergartners go first. So I was just thinking about all the things how that changed my day.
Steve, do you cry at your kids' recitals like a bitch?
No.
That's a good question.
I do not cry.
That is worded wonderfully.
I did have tears in my eyes at college graduation when my daughter graduated from college.
What
but
credential question?
Normal.
What credential question?
I didn't get panicked, Ryan. I was going to take the show off today, but now I'm gonna do the show. I literally came in as Paulie was talking to me, and I was not listening.
Doesn't take the show seriously.
Now I have to anchor the 6 today. That's what I was thinking in my head. Now, because I was like,
why didn't you just?
Easy afternoon.
You've already got them prepped.
I guess maybe I don't know. I don't want to take off a show if I don't need to, though.
Scared you get Wally pipped?
No, Yeah,
you are. You're terrified Mario's
I'm going to be at work today anyway. I might as well anchor from there. Thanks, Ryan. Maybe I will.
How am I qualified? How is anybody qualified to talk about sports if they never played them? 90% of people that host sports radio show never played sports. Steve played Division III.
So Govendo, JP refuses to go to football games because of the train whistle when they score touchdowns. He does not like that at all.
Star Wars Doll Nation. I would host that. Welcome back to Orange Nation. This one's called Fat Boys. They weren't body shaming. They were embracing their fat. Steve.
Yes.
R.I.P. to one of them. Crazy story. He literally passed away while they were recording an album in the studio.
I remember you telling me that, yeah.
Not good.
All right,
if you're going to die on the air, though, because that'd probably boost our ratings a little bit.
You've told that to me before.
I'll try and do the same for you.
I wouldn't want that. I don't want you to die. Don't die.
You don't want to be viral for at least like a day?
Not for that reason, no.
I'm not. Nobody wants to be for that reason, but if you've got to be, you don't want to be viral. Like, would you do CPR on me?
Yes, I would try to save your life.
All right. I don't know how. I would probably cry and panic in the corner.
At least call 911, okay?
Okay.
All right. We're going to talk about the market, though, and for that, we call Lee Baldwin and Company. We've got Bill on with us today. Bill, how's the market doing here on a Wednesday?
Tough segment to
I know, right?
The markets are a little higher today ahead of the Fed rate cut decision at 2 o'clock. The Dow is up 200 points, so market's looking good. Diamond today is GE Veronova. So this is a spinoff, the energy spinoff from GE, and it's surging 14% today on better than expected earnings and guidance. So that energy stock is doing well. On the downside, Uber, which has been a diamond all year, is pulling back today on a downgrade and increased competition in Europe. But overall, pretty good day.
All right, Bill, that's what we like to hear. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, all the diamonds, none of the dogs. Be sure to visit LeeBaldwin.com.
What do you think is more likely?
What?
One of us just dropping dead or one of us murdering the other person on camera, on air?
Premeditated or
no, it wouldn't be. We would just snap like I did last week. Like there's been times it's crossed my mind.
Heat of the moment, I think that could happen.
During the break when I was talking to you and you were ignoring me while you were texting, the thought of me putting my hands around your throats and choking you out, it crossed my mind. So I would put the odds that you murder me at the highest. Than me
will not be premeditated though.
Than me murdering you. Second.
Okay.
All right. Third, would you some fluky injury death, like you're drinking your water and it fills up you chokes and you fill up your lungs, and you die in front of me. And then fourth, me just dropping dead.
I hope none of that happens, for the record. None of it.
Everybody seems to think you'll snap soon. What if it's not on me? Like, what if it's you at like Wegmans? You just lose it. You just start punching people.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it will be on you. If it happens, I think it will be directed at you. I'm pretty sure about that.
Do you take boxing classes? Are you like a secret black belt? People want to know.
No.
Like, would you roundhouse me when I least expect it?
I wish.
I could also be the guy who's in the in the parking lot and somebody didn't like one of my takes, and I get popped in the parking lot.
Could happen.
Or I get Abe Lincoln at a game. Because now I'm closer. Carmelo bought my seat at the table, so now I'm within Abe Lincoln range.
Everybody knows where you're going to be every game, so there is some truth to that.
Kevin from Liverpool says he'd pay you to snap on me on the air. Are you in Fight Club? Everybody's got this secret personality for you, Steve, that I would love if it was true, that you were just like a black belt or were in a Fight Club or, serial killer.
Serial killer?
Yeah, that nobody knows about. People got 100 on you, Steve.
To take you down?
Yeah. If we can get it up, I'll take a dive. I won't even put my hands up. I will take a dive.
I'll split the 100?
Yeah, I would fall for the crane kick for you. See, we couldn't do that because you would hurt yourself doing the crane kick, but I would let you punch me super hard on purpose. Like if we could get up enough money. Times are tough in this business.
Yeah. I would enjoy that too, very much.
You can.
I would very much.
I would enjoy it too if we if we each got like $1,000. I'll walk around with a black eye. I wouldn't even tell Ed. I wouldn't tell HR. I'd take the shot.
Take the punch?
Yeah.
All right. That could be therapeutic.
Steve would break his hand. That's funny.
We've got Adrian Autry coming up. We don't want to be late for him. We'll take a time out here. Adrian Autry joins us next on ESPN Radio.
Is that true that Jordan left because he thought you would murder him? After you murdered me, just so there'd be no witnesses?
Oh, somebody's calling. I think Coach is on VMix, though.
Yeah. Only Korowski is alive. Jesus, he weighed 450 pounds. We'll find out. Crispin Glover as Steve would be that's a very good actor in the serial killer movie. That would be good.
He's from Back to the Future?
Yeah, Pete Alonso to the Orioles? Get the hell out of it. Why isn't my phone? My phone hasn't buzzed that yet. Man, the Mets are having a bad offseason. Wow. Maybe the Padres could go get Ryan Mountcastle now. They need a first baseman. There goes the birthday deaths. He died the day before his birthday. I told you I rode the elevator with the fat boys.
You did.
And they all had whole pizzas.
Oswego County Mutual?
Yeah. Is that a humble brag?
Yeah.
I met the fat boys?
Yeah. What's your biggest humble brag? Jim Boeheim?
No.
Saying you know a lot about basketball?
No. Alec Baldwin drew a caricature of me.
He drew it?
Yeah, doing my radio show.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I framed it, and yeah.
He's an artist?
No, he just drew a cartoon character of me when he was on our show, and I was joking about Jeffrey Dahmer, and he was drawing a picture, and he wrote, "Did you know?" Because I said, "Did you know Jeffrey Dahmer had sex with a mannequin?" and he drew me saying, "Did you know Jeffrey Dahmer had sex with his mannequin?"
Does it look like you?
No, it's just a random drawing.
Oh, gotcha.
I bet you it's very rare in the collectible department that I have a cartoon he drew. Of
Yeah. It's interesting.
I met what's his face?
Satchel Sack. We met at the fair. We met inside the Expo Center. I remember that.
I met
at the
Stefan.
Dino exhibit. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
my biggest. I met Stefan, and I waved to him down from up atop the. It was the Hotel Syracuse back then. I rode the elevator with the Fat Boys. It was after Fresh Fest. It was the Fat Boys, Salt and Pepper, Tone Loc, Rob Bass. Back then, that was a banging show. It was like 1986, 87 maybe. The White Boys. I couldn't name one of the White Boys songs, but they were trying to ride the Beastie Boys gravy train, and it didn't quite work out for them. But they all had whole pizzas. That's the one thing I remember. Like that wasn't just an act. They were fat. Like they would literally sit and eat whole pizzas. Good for them. I was really cool back then. Steve, I don't know if you know it. Like I went to Bismarcky and Boogie Down Productions at the new Nowhere City. I was cool. I was cooler than you would imagine back then. Welcome back to Orange Nation. Artist of the day is the Fat Boys. Don't You Dog Me, Steve. You remember this one? I was just saying I met the Fat Boys.
You did. At the Hotel Syracuse.
Yes,
right?
we're gonna do Humble Brag Fest one day.
It's high on your list.
Yeah, I really want our listeners to call in and be like, I met this person and it's the biggest thing in my life, my humble brag.
All right, let's kick off our second hour. Brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. So pleased to be joined by Adrian Autry. A day earlier than normal because Thursday this week is a game day for the Orange. Coach, great to have you on. How you doing today?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well.
Who's the coolest person you ever met, Coach? Was there ever been a time you were just like, you met a musician, an actor, or someone, you're like, holy cow?
Probably as a musician, probably Jay-Z, probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's a really good one.
You beat us.
Yeah. That's a really good one.
He just topped us off.
Drop the mic. End of story.
Humble Brag Fest is over.
It's over. It's over. Coach wins. All right, you've had a little bit more than a week since your last game. That Tennessee game seems like a long time ago. How have you guys spent this last week? Really your last week off of the season.
We've tried to obviously continue to work on some things that we need to get better at. Continue to tighten some things up and prepare for this game with this 2 game stretch, which is 2 quality opponents. So it'll be a challenge for us. But working on ourselves and then preparing for these 2 games within less than 48 hours, I believe.
You played 4 games in the span of 8 days, right? And including 3 games in Vegas in the span of like 42 hours. So I would imagine that it's tough to self-scout in those situations, right? Because it's the game's over and you already got to move on to the next opponent. You can't spend too much time on that game that was just played. Has this last week allowed you to kind of I guess self-scout, for lack of a better term, and kind of take a deeper look at that 4-game stretch and learn some things, I guess, from those games?
Yeah, we definitely have had a chance to do that. I know, us and me and my staff have had a chance to, look at that and kind of, take some things from that we did well, some things that we need to do better and continue to do better. And I think those are the things that we really focused on, and going into this break. When you play against Iowa State, Houston, Kansas, is a lot. In Tennessee, it was a lot. It was a really good stretch for us, and a lot we learned about ourselves. Some good and some things that that we need to continue to work on.
Nate Kings came in as a high volume, high percentage shooter from the 3-point range. And this time off, have you guys looked at tape of him and seen, he's gotten to the basket and been great in every other facet of the game, but what we thought he was good at, is he getting the shots that he needs? Is he not taking them? What have you learned on him?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think, I think we got to do a little bit better job of looking for him in certain situations. I think we've had a chance to give him some easier looks, and we haven't made the right choices at times. And then a lot of it is, him just, not making. He has some open shots as well. So again, it's a combination of both. I think, I think he settled in very nicely. He showed up in Tennessee, which we needed every point in the first half. So hopefully that'll get him going.
Overall, offensively, what have you guys noticed in the past week of going over things?
I think we're going to continue to work on our ball movement, setting screens, and being able to, capitalize, in transition. Even though we've gotten some easy buckets in transition, but I think we still can get some more, especially some threes if we can get out and run and get to those corners, get those filled. But we've done a good job in transition. But overall, in the half court offense, I think we got to move the ball a little bit more and set some screens. But in retrospect, what you said we talked about. I mean, we played against 4 top 10 defenses, so they had a lot to do with some of that as well, which was good for us. Going forward, being able to know, to win those games, you have to be able to do these things. So I thought it was more eye-opening for our guys than the coaching staff.
I have a question that comes up with us all the time, in the post games, pre games, our show is, in your offensive scheme, to the average person, it looks like just a bunch of guys standing around the perimeter. What is the point of the guys being out in the perimeter, and is that what they're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, you're trying to open up the floor. You got guys that have ability, and despite what you may think, I think every coach has a style and a system and players, and it has to fit that. Right, you have to be able to fit that, right? So, we're trying to take advantage. We're trying to stretch the floor out. We got some talented guys. That can make plays with the ball in their hands. So, we try to maximize that and with movement and spacing. The biggest thing is spacing. So you want to stretch the defense. You don't want the defense to be clogged down, and that's what defenses are designed to do, to try to stay compact. And then sometimes, if you don't have the appropriate spacing, you're just helping. You're guarding your own man, when they make a move. So, when our guys make a move and break someone down, someone like JJ, when he uses his speed and breaks someone down, if we're not in a clear spacing, all right, that makes a harder read for him and a tougher shot for him. But if we're in the right spacing and he beats his man, which he typically can, and when the help comes off without spacing, that should be an easy, clean read and a better shot for us.
Yeah, it gives you more options, certainly. Another question we get a lot is, what are they doing about free throws? And what can you do about free throws during the season? I guess walk us through that. I would assume this last week, that's something that you guys have at least talked about and addressed. How do you improve from the line during the season, Coach?
I think it's just work. You continually get more comfortable with it. We've started a lot of our segments, with free throws, putting them in situations. That's all you can do, and constantly rep them out, getting a ton up, each day, whether it's 150, 200, and again, people, 150, 200. These guys have a lot going on. These guys are still students, right? So to squeeze that out, and make that commitment and practice and get work done, it fills their day up. But, what you can do is, continually rep it out. And obviously as a coach, you try to put them in those positions, many game-like positions as you can, so that they can get comfortable with that.
All right, let's turn our attention to tomorrow. St. Joseph's coming to town. I'm sure you had a chance to watch them last night against Coppin State. What stands out to you about this team as you get ready to play them tomorrow night?
They have great positional size. They got big front court. Those guys all could be at our level. They have a power forward level talent team. Guys that can score. Very good offensive coach and Coach Donahue, and they got really good offensive players. So this is an explosive offensive team that you got to really try to disrupt them a little bit, and they go to the glass. A good offensive rebounding team. So this is a very good offensive team. They move the ball, they cut it. They got guys that can break you down off the bounce and make and make open shots. So this would be a challenge for us.
So Joe Lenardi happens to be their color commentator. We had him on the show earlier today and previewing the game, and he dropped something during the interview I thought that was interesting. He said that the ACC conference reached out to him and asked him to talk to the member schools about scheduling and, I guess, as it pertains to making the NCAA tournament. How happy are you with the way the non-conference schedule shook out for you guys? I know you're obviously still in the thick of it, but as you look at it from top to bottom, are you pleased with how you guys went about scheduling the non-conference schedule?
I am. I thought we gave ourselves enough chances to get some quality wins. And that tough stretch in Vegas with Tennessee, I think that was really good. I thought I'm very pleased with the way we scheduled. We gave ourselves an opportunity where in years past you wasn't as knowledgeable of how this net ranking thing works, and I think we all figured it out. And I think overall our conference has done a really good job. If everybody can finish up in a good manner, you're walking into your conference play with 9 to 10 teams, possibly quad 1 and quad 2 areas, and that's what you want as a conference. You give yourself more opportunity, which the other conferences have done in the past, and I think the ACC has adapted well.
I was going to ask you about that, and you kind of touched on it right there, but it seems like the ACC has done a really nice job across the board during the non-conference. I mean, Paulie and I watched that Clemson game last night. They come within a whisker of beating a top 10 opponent at the Garden. There have been several wins by the ACC. And I know you touched on it right there, but that's important, right? I mean, this time of year that, obviously you guys are going to be competitors in another few weeks, but in the non-conference, you're kind of rooting for each other, right? You're rooting for the conference to be good so that it opens up a few more bids come March, right?
Absolutely. For our conference, to make it the way everything is set up now, you need your conference to be really good. So once you get into conference play, those wins matter. And then when you do drop a couple, they don't impact you negatively, right? Like that's the whole thing of it, right? Like, so if you're in there, you get to a conference and we got teams, 12 teams in that quad 1 to quad 2 range. That's a quality league, and some of those quad 2s now are quad 1s when you go on the road. So depending where you play at home or on the road, you're constantly playing more quad 1 games. So and you need that. You need that as a conference, and I think that's what our conference will be this year.
All right, we do have to ask you about Donnie Freeman. What is his status heading into tomorrow? Where do things stand with Donnie?
Well, we're still getting ready, each week with him. I think it's day to day. I know it's day to day and week to week, to be honest with you. And so we're just trying to figure out what's the best route to take with him, and it's not like that. He just needs some time and some rest. He's working. He's back moving and doing things. So the signs are all good. Again, we expect him back soon. I just couldn't give everyone a timetable, unfortunately.
If I were to ask, do you think he'll be ready in time for the ACC opener? Is it does that change your answer, or is it the same?
I'm very hopeful for that. I don't, I couldn't. I wish I was I wish I could say he'll be back that date, And again,
sure.
As the fans are wanting him back, I want him back too. So,
and I don't mean to pester you, but it because people are scared.
People are pestering us.
Yes,
So.
it's not. He will be back this year.
Yes, he will be back this year. Yes. That's not.
All right, good.
That's not the question. That's not the issue. That is not the issue.
Okay.
So.
Just a matter. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when.
Yes.
All right. That's okay. That's good. That works. All right, Coach. As always, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for coming on. Best of luck tomorrow, and we look forward to chatting with you again next week.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Adrian Autry joining us here on the show, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. As we drive into our second hour, it's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero. Paul.
Good drive. That was a good drive.
Yeah. And there you go. That helps clear things up to some degree. And I think it's what we kind of anticipated all along, right? That it's, he's improving. He's not ready yet, but he will be ready at some point.
Speaking of the drive, Steve, and safety and health, there's a winter weather advisory that remains in effect till 1 a.m. Eastern on Thursday.
Yeah.
So be careful out there. It's through Friday morning. Snow accumulations up to an inch this afternoon. Rain showers tonight. It sounds like we're going to get that old mixed bag, Steve, and you don't want the freezing rains and the whatnot. So be safe out there.
Yes, be safe out there. Absolutely.
Thursday, 2 to 4 inches. It's a lot of snow, Steve.
Yeah. Yep. I told you I'm dealing with a cancellation. Tonight's not going to be fun. So if you're out tonight, tomorrow
2 to
morning,
4.
Yeah.
A lot of inches.
Yeah. Phone lines open, 315-437-7644. We are back after this on ESPN Radio.
You guys are so sad. You got mad that I said to the average person it looks like the offense is just a bunch of guys standing around. Are we not all average people? If I didn't ask the question, you would have been like, why didn't you ask him while all his players are standing around? You guys are insufferable. Yeah, 2 inches is huge. It's a... Okay, I'm below average everything. I'm sorry I asked the question. You are a permanent victim. He referred to us as average. Steve's a 3.9. How dare you? Because I called you average. Yeah. Bring back to the curtain. Quit being average. No, that's how you, should I have said in layman's, can you break it down in layman's terms for us? Is that better? I don't think I'm better than, I don't know why they're just standing around. I asked the question. You guys are insufferable. I'm sorry I live in your head rent free like that. Boo! Thank you. I can say whatever the hell I want. Rent free is not a younger generation thing. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm sorry you were offended by my question. You guys never ask questions like, why is the offense so stagnant? You ask the question why the offense is so stagnant, and it's, why are you referring to me as an average person? No, you were offended. You were thinking I was thinking that I was better than you by asking the question. Okay, That's fine. I am an average person. That's why I asked the question. I wanted to know why it looked like the offense was standing around. I have a case of unripped cards in my freaking office, and I got to do it. I haven't had any free time. It's been nuts around here.
What brand are they? What brand of cards do you like to rip the most?
My incessant whining is something else. Like, should I just sit here and let you guys belittle me and not respond to it like Steve does? I'll sit here quiet during the breaks. Do you want me to sit here and be... Yeah, you can buy into my breaks. I got to do it. I've got a whole studio set up. It's crazy. Yeah, you guys can give it back to me. Are you actually murdering?
Is you ready to take it to the bridge? Yeah, boy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sex machine, Steve. You know what this song's about?
I do.
I do too. It's about our next caller, Stefan in Utica. Stefan, what's up?
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
How are you,
Can't
Stefan?
be a great couple days for you, Stefan, huh? This has been a bad couple days.
No, it isn't. And the past couple of weeks haven't been too good. First, Brandon Nemo, the outfielder, then Diaz yesterday, and now Alonso. What in the world are the Mets doing this winter? I thought they want to win a championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's concerning. I feel for you being a Mets fan. Stefan, it's tough. It's been a tough stretch, and I know we were both stunned when we heard the news, Paulie, that Pete Alonso's going to the Orioles.
I think they got something up their sleeve, but they'll be okay.
I mean, they spend money.
Their owner will spend the money.
We've seen that.
And I'm not crying for a team that still has Lindor and Soto.
Sure, right. And Pete Alonso, he cashed in, right? With Soto came there, and his numbers improved, and I don't think that's a coincidence. Having that protection of Soto in the lineup, and Alonso cashes in 5 years, $155 million. I don't know that the Mets were going to pay him that, and he ends up in Baltimore and is able to cash in.
And Edwin Diaz, the Dodgers are going to outbid you. They probably deferred his money to 2,750 or whatever.
You're not salty or anything about that.
Yeah, but then the Mets will probably go get Suarez from the Padres, and it's just a revolving door of high-paid good. There's still plenty of good relievers out there. They need starting pitching also.
It's like the transfer portal in the offseason.
You got to make a decision. Is Pete Alonso more important than getting a starting pitcher?
Yeah, right.
So it's also shocking that the Orioles are jettisoning their pitching staff, but then getting bats now, which it doesn't make any sense.
They need pitchers.
Yeah.
They've needed pitchers for a while. Today's business here, Superior Plus Propane, always our lovely sponsor for today's business. Do you guys want to talk about the Utah news that came out yesterday? They're striking a deal with a private equity firm, and this could be coming to college sports now. Just add that to the list of things to consider in this ever-changing college landscape.
Yeah, I mean, where anybody can find an edge, right? That's what everybody's doing right now. Is everybody's trying to be on the cutting edge of things, and it's the latest. It'll be interesting to see how this works, and I guess it's by the rules, right? I mean, as the rules, there's not really much in the way of rules at the moment anyway. But it'll be interesting to see what is allowed moving forward and what's not allowed.
You have thoughts, Paulie?
No. Sorry, I was finding my kicker.
You're good.
I was buying time.
We can talk about the women's basketball game tonight. Steve and I can discuss that as you're looking for your kicker. The women play tonight against Colgate, which should be an easy win. We've talked about the similarities in the men's team and the women's team. Really, the women should be 11-1, and playing Duke at home on December 28th, which will be their second ACC game. They did get a win on the road against SMU on Sunday in their ACC opener. But really exciting start to the season for them. Colgate is the type of team that is kind of like 150 to 200 in the national rankings. So they're pretty big favorites tonight, and I'd expect them to look the part again defensively tonight.
I know we keep talking about, they should be 11-1 by Duke. You're absolutely right. I looked at Duke's resume a little bit. They've got a bunch of losses, but 4 of them are the top 20 teams.
Really
3 of them
schedule.
are top 10 teams. What do you make of Duke? Like, is Syracuse better than Duke in your mind? Have you seen them play at all this year?
I have seen Duke quite a bit. Syracuse is very similar in the net rankings right now to Duke. Duke was picked to win the league. The Orange were picked to finish 13th in the league. We know Syracuse is a whole lot better than 13th in the league. I would say right now my best guess is they're probably like team 6 or 7 in the ACC. I think Duke is a complete mystery. I mean, even talking to some of my colleagues around the conference, we're all like, what do we make of Duke? Because they have played a very tough non-conference schedule. They play that style of basketball under Kara Lawson that is very defense first, and they have done a nice job against Syracuse in the past couple years at sort of making it an ugly game, and they've been a tough out for the Orange when they've gone up against them with Coach Jack. But, I mean, they lost a game to West Virginia, where it's basically half of West Virginia's team because of the whole fight they had.
The ejections, yeah. Right.
So I would say Duke has been definitely disappointing to this point in the season. They have not looked like an ACC frontrunner, and they're definitely more gettable than I would have thought, if you asked me that question about a month ago.
Didn't West Virginia essentially play the game with 5 players?
Yes.
Right?
There was a scrum, a fight, and they lost half their team and basically played 5 players in the second half onward.
The entire game,
yes, essentially. Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting, and I believe I looked at this the other day, and you would know better than me. I think the DeAsia Fair senior year, I want to say they were 11-1, right?
I think you're right.
I think they were 11-1. So it'll be interesting to see if they can surpass that, if they can somehow knock off Duke and keep this thing going. But they've been very impressive to date, and I like what I see. And I think that we're talking about whether or not the men are an NCAA tournament team. I think the women certainly have the look of an NCAA tournament team right now, no doubt about it.
Yeah, they're a bubble team right now. Maybe even a little.
Yeah,
more
I would say we got
Syr-
Charlie Cream on, who's the women's bracketologist. I mean, he doesn't have Syracuse on the bubble yet, but I'm guessing by the time they play Duke, if they stack some more wins,
hard to ignore.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them on the bubble before we see the men's team, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, the women's resume, their one loss was to a top 10 team. I think Michigan's up to like 6 or 7 in the polls right now, and they did beat Utah, and it's hard to ignore 11-1 or 12-1 or whatever they end up being. So I'm with you on that. I think the women are going to pop up on the bubble picture here pretty soon.
Kicker time, Paul. You ready?
Oh, yeah. So this is plays into what I was talking about yesterday about you remember I was telling you Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Like, I don't get the novelty of Grandma dying and getting run over by something.
Right.
Dateline Stewart, Florida. A company is in hot water after their float for their train company was Grandma got run over by the Brightline, which is a train. And people didn't think the display was appropriate of a play on the Grandma got run over by a reindeer. What do you think?
I think that's fine. I think it's kind of...
Is it funny?
I feel like you would agree, right? Because that's why you.
Yeah, I'm offended. I am offended by Grandma dying in any way and being celebrated.
Yeah, but we don't know that she died. We talked about that yesterday. We don't know that. We don't know that
she died. Steve.
That was. I mean, that's what I took from the song as well. But we never actually. There's no confirmation. Talk about being in the news business. There's no confirmation that she didn't make it.
I don't mean to.
Steve is looking for more sources on Grandma.
Can you ask AI? Ask AI if Grandma died by getting run over by a reindeer.
All right.
Needs a secondary source before he can pronounce her dead.
Yeah, she's definitely. I don't mean to ruin Steve's childhood.
In the original song, she is presumed dead from the reindeer hoof prints found on her back.
Oh, yes.
Though some interpretations suggest that she got amnesia and lived.
I think that's the way you explain it to children, but us adults know.
There was an animated special in 2000 that provides a happier ending where Grandma survives.
Interesting.
Revisionist history. This is like Han Solo's shot first. They're
just telling you what I could find.
Like they took the guns out of the FBI agent's hands in E.T. They're just trying to soften the blow for everybody.
The lyrics imply that she died in the 1979 song.
Yeah,
it was Santa Claus's marks and hoof prints confirming the incident.
It definitely was a harder time and a more realistic time in the 70s where you as a child, you had to just bear with the fact that Grandma's dead and she got run over by a reindeer because she was intoxicated and
now we give out participation trophies and school
kids aren't tough
snow
anymore.
days. Or
see, now it's like Grandma got run over by a reindeer and she just brushed it off. Yeah, that's not real life. It's not real life.
And back in your guys' day, you had to walk uphill to school both ways.
Exactly. No shoes.
This snow out here was nothing for you guys. Gosh.
I wonder if they called Jim the Hammer Shapiro after the accident. You know, you could sue the hell out of those reindeer.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Did you think we would come in today and talk about serial killers and, again, Grandma being killed by a reindeer?
No, I didn't. How did we...
What's the cutest animal you would think to kill you? Would be like a seal?
Why would a seal kill you?
I don't know, but like if you like
seagulls,
what would like?
I think an otter is
like an otter. What if an what would be the most embarrassing animal to die by? Like a seal. An otter would be horrible. Like a dachshund or a dachshund.
Dachshund?
Yeah,
a small little chihuahua.
Yeah, like a chihuahua just gnawed you to death.
My sister had a dachshund growing up. She was the meanest dog. Meanest dog.
Someone said a sloth. What if a snail? Like you slipped on a snail. A slug, you know.
How would that work though? I don't know.
What? A snail?
Or like an otter. Like how would an otter
I don't know, but like that I would like what happened? Otter clawed his whole head off. You have to have a closed casket because the otter got him.
What if we flip it around? What's the most impressive animal to stand up to?
Lion.
Lion.
Lion, king of the jungle.
Bear.
I was going to say a bear.
Bear swatted his head clean off. Clean off. Ate him. There's nothing even left of him. That's a good way to go.
Especially if you're like saving people in the process.
A shark, I guess. If you're...
What about a seagull? People want to know. Steve, you got to...
No, that almost happened. That's why I said, when you said, what's the most embarrassing thing? A seagull almost killed me.
This reminds me. I told Tim this, and I know you like to interpret dreams. I had a dream, not last night, but the night before, that my house was infested with, like, exotic birds. And I had to call the police, and the police dogs came in and killed all the birds. It was bizarre.
Let's ask AI that one. What does that mean?
I'm typing it in. Well, a dream about a house infested with exotic birds is open to several interpretations, largely depending on your personal feelings during the dream. Generally, birds in a house...
I don't know what my personal feelings in the dream are. I'm asleep.
Generally, birds in a house symbolize new opportunities, spiritual freedom, or messages from your intuition.
All right. Yeah.
However, the feeling of being infested with exotic birds suggests
that's what it was.
That you may be feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or uncertain.
Okay, that fits in better. That definitely did it because I was terrified in the dream that the bird infestation.
If you felt fear, chaos, or a sense of being trapped, it suggests that you are overwhelmed by major life changes, new ideas, or an emerging unconventional aspect of your personality that you are struggling to integrate.
Uh-oh.
The sheer number of birds points to a high degree of anxiety or that too many changes may be happening at once in your life.
Okay, well, that makes sense now. It all makes sense. Thanks, Steve. Good breakdown.
You're welcome. All right, we'll take a timeout. Phone lines remain open if you want to check in. Back after this. Do we have blind rankings
Yes,
next?
we do.
Blind
Birds,
rankings.
animals you'd like to be killed by. Blind rankings.
On ESPN Radio.
Let's just ask AI that question. All right, I'm going to try and find some headphones.
Otters are stinky. I've been in the otter enclosure, and they smell like fish. What if I'm upset about the bird bracket missing? That finally just manifested itself. And they weren't, like they were big bird sized. Does that make sense? Like they were huge, yeah. But they weren't like walking and talking. They were. I'm gonna add that to the search. Large birds with large, very large exotic birds. Let's see if that changes it. Large just suggests that they are major aspects of his life. If the birds were flying wildly around his house, it might indicate a chaotic disruption of his inner peace.
We had headphone gate yesterday, Steve.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my show started and those headphones stopped working.
Oh, no.
So then I had to throw on Paulie's.
Well, it's a good thing Christmas is coming.
Yeah, no, we should just each buy headphones and say they're from each other.
Right.
I literally went to Tim yesterday and said, I got to tell Steve on air about my bird dream.
Yeah, then you forgot. So
yeah.
Adding the large birds to the mix, it just means that it suggests that this is a major aspect of your life that you have anxiety about.
Yeah, it all making sense right now. I am also terrified of birds. Like, I don't like birds. I got attacked by one as a kid. A parakeet.
I'm terrified of seagulls.
I told you that story, right?
You did.
My friend's parakeet was attacking me, and I couldn't swat it down because it's like, it would be like punching his dog if his dog was jumping all over me. Oh, the Yoda seagulls. That's funny. I did not get attacked by Stinky Bird. No, it's Stinky Bird. Get it right, CJC. Okay, I take back what I said yesterday because the same amount happened in the same segment.
What?
Remember what I said yesterday about the numbers?
Oh, yeah. But that didn't happen today.
Yeah, so that's what he's saying.
It did happen. And it still happened. The numbers still.
At the time.
Yeah, around the same, right now, around this
same
time.
Reason.
Yeah.
I think it's the time.
Yeah.
I don't know that I drove her into a life of isolation. I wasn't the one. What are Steve's top catchphrases? I would love to know. Because I work with a guy and I don't know that he's got a top. What would it say? I have a 3.9, bark. I played Division 3, bark. I want a game with mono. Bark, bark, bark.
Coaching tree.
Coaching tree, bark.
Why is he a chicken?
I don't know.
Why is he clucking?
Listen, dude. Bark, bark, bark. I was just trying to help. Bark. You're insufferable. Bark, bark, bark. Hold the mail. Bark, bark. I'm just blowing it up.
Come on, baby. Let's do the twist.
Everything's playing at once. I just got shelved. I just gave up 8 runs.
Yeah. We're going to a player or
the bullpen.
Yeah, we're going to a position pitcher.
I am sorry. I was laughing at my own stupid jokes and I screwed that up. We were discussing during the break. This is what you miss on Cuse Sports Talk. If Steve was a parrot, what it would sound like. And it was, for some reason, he sounded a lot like a chicken.
I don't know why.
I'm talking chicken because it'd be like, I want a state championship. Bark, bark, bark. Paulie. Bark, bark, bark.
Yeah, I don't know why he sounds like a chicken, but
I like crackers too. Bark.
I do like crackers.
I know you do. I like carrots. Bark, 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 bark. All right.
You had way too much fun during that commercial break. All
I
right.
like blind rankings. Bark,
I do like blind rankings. We're going to do that now.
Yes, we are. We're going to rank ACC football coaches, which, keep in mind, there are 3 new coaches as of the latest coaching carousel news in the offseason. One of them being James Franklin, who is now at Virginia Tech. That's a pretty strong new addition to the list here. And then both of the West Coast schools that don't even really feel like ACC schools, Cal and Stanford, have added new coaches. So we'll spin the wheel of the 17 ACC coaches. We'll have 10 pop up. 1 to 10, you guys have to rank each time one of them pops up without knowing who is coming next.
Who's the best coach in the ACC?
Yeah, just ACC football coaches,
And
ranking them.
1 is best, 10 is worst.
Yes.
Okay.
I have bread in my desk. Bark.
Can I do this solo, or do I have to do it with the parrot next to me?
Sorry.
Before we actually do the blind rankings, I have come up with my best educated guess of how the coaches should be tiered right now. So I'll go through those, and why don't you guys let me know if you disagree, if you agree, and that will help form maybe your opinion on where you're going to put select coaches once they come out in the blind rankings. I put the top coach with a question mark in the top tier because we don't really know and it's hard to say. I said Dabo Swinney is still the top coach, the Clemson head coach.
You know, I saw this yesterday, and when you sent it to us initially, and I paused, and then I was like, you know what, he's probably right. I think you're right.
Yes.
But I paused.
It's hard just because of what it's been lately. Yeah. But then I'm a hypocrite because then you got the whole Jim Boeheim didn't win as many games at the end of his tenure as he usually did.
So it's not the no-brainer that it was like 3 years ago.
Absolutely.
But there's also nobody that has the track record he
So
has.
that's why I said I paused, but then I was like, yeah. Because
if Dabo's name comes up, I think you have to put him first, right?
Because your track record does matter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I put up-and-comers tier. I had Brent Key at Georgia Tech, Rhett Lashley at SMU, Fran Brown at Syracuse, Jake Dickert at Wake Forest had a very nice first year, came over from Washington State. Tony Elliott at Virginia is now in the up-and-comers tier. He was more on the hot seat going into this year, but I think we have to put him in the up-and-comers. Proven winners tier, we've got James Franklin, Virginia Tech now, Jeff Brom, Louisville, Pat Narduzzi at Pittsburgh. We kind of know what we're getting with these guys. And Manny Diaz at Duke, I would say, is a proven winner. They did actually win the ACC championship. We have to give them some credit for that. Next tier, I have tough places to win enough to please the fan base.
I feel like that's everywhere.
Yeah. It's becoming more common. But especially at these 3 schools. Dave Doran, NC State. They are bringing him back next year, but the NC State fan base is very fed up with him, even though he's been there for 14 or 15 years, I think, at this point. Mario Cristobal at Miami. I wouldn't say he's on the hot seat anymore because they are going to the playoff, but it hasn't been the most happy time with Mario Cristobal there for the Miami fan base. Mike Norvell, Florida State, also in this tier. Then we've got the new West Coast coaches that are really tough to rank, the new Cal and Stanford coaches. Tavita Pritchard is the new coach for Stanford. He was a former quarterback for Stanford, was a quarterback coach for the Washington Commanders. And Tosh Lapui, I might be saying that wrong. He is the Cal new head coach. He was the Oregon defensive coordinator that just came over to Cal. And then the last tier is Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien, which I have labeled former NFL coaches named Bill because we don't really know what to make of those two either.
He's the best coach in the league.
Belichick?
Yeah.
Went 4-8, Paul.
I don't know that you could say that.
So we just have to ignore his NFL career?
No, but
he's the best coach in this league.
In this case, it does matter what you've done at this level, right? I mean,
it's only been 1 year.
I know, but it didn't go well.
Yeah, so that was the same reason we were looking at Dabo differently.
Very tough one to rank.
No, it's different though because they're 2 different levels.
He's legitimately
2 different jobs.
One of the best coaches of all time.
As that job, NFL coach, at that job. A college job is much different than an NFL job.
Okay, I get that, but we're talking. Is that how we're ranking it?
Well, he's in college right now.
as a coach overall.
We're ranking best ACC football coaches.
Okay, as a football coach, he's the best. As an
ACC football coach, he's not the best.
Okay.
I really hope his name comes up, and you guys can argue about this some more. All right, we're going to spin the
His
wheel.
resume is very good.
Track record, good.
In the NFL. It's a different job.
Okay,
it's not the same job.
What about when you're coming up from the MAC to the Power 4?
It's a similar job. Going from the NFL to college is vastly different.
Okay.
How about look at it this way, Paulie? If Syracuse had an opening right now, which I know they don't, but just play along, where would you put Bill Belichick in terms of all these coaches? Where would you want him on that list if Syracuse could get any of these 17 ACC coaches? Maybe that's how you should look at it.
Okay, that's how I will look at it, because he would not be up there. But if you went by just recruiting wise, I wouldn't want Dabo Sweeney either. So
because of the portal,
I think Bill Belichick is a good coach. I think that I think for the sake of this exercise, I think Dabo's got to be the top right coach.
I agree with that. All right, we're going to spin the wheel, come up with 10 names. Our first name is Rhett Lashley, the SMU head coach, who has committed to an extension there. Remember, there were rumors about Arkansas.
What's your gut? Okay, you had 4. I had 3.
3?
So 3 or 4. I think that's about right.
I think 4. He's won more games in the up and comers list. He's won more. I'd go 3 with him.
Yeah, I'd go 3 too.
All right, Rhett Lashley is at number 3. Next spin of the wheel, we've got 9 more to go. Dabo Sweeney.
So we'll go 1, yeah.
Got to put him on.
No brainer.
All right, you've gotten 2 good coaches. This was the ACC championship game last year, Sweeney against Rhett Lashley. And now we've got Jeff Brom at Louisville, who is staying at Louisville. Another good coach. I had him in the proven winners category.
Yeah, I know.
I don't love Jeff Brom, but he is.
You don't have to. You can't.
I know. He is a.
If you
he's
can't
a
use NFL experience, you can't use their personal lives.
I know.
You don't like his face on the sideline.
I don't like the way he treats his players. But
yeah, so let's go 2.
No. I don't think so. I was going the other way.
We've already gone. He's not as good as.
If we get like James Franklin, I would put James Franklin above him.
Okay. So we made a mistake at 3.
No, I like where we are right now. I would go. I would say Brom's 4.
4. Okay.
All right. Next spin of the wheel. Bill Belichick, UNC. You've got 2. You've got 5
He's
onward.
the second best coach. Like if you're going strictly coaching, you can't put him like 6.
Would you rather have your football team, Syracuse, coached by Rhett Lashley, Jeff Brom, or Bill Belichick? Say next year.
Bill Belichick, I would want for 1 year. If I was going 1 year, I'd want Bill Belichick coaching.
I don't know.
You are a hypocrite.
Nah, maybe it's because I hate the Patriots. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, fine. Put him second.
Like for X's and O's, he's probably best.
Okay.
What's the chat saying? Are they in disagreement?
LA Orange agrees with me that Steve was gushing over an assistant's resume yesterday and won't give Bill Belichick credit for it.
Hang on. I didn't say don't give him credit. He is one of the all-time greats at the NFL. I don't know that that's the case at college. It is a different job. It's so much about recruiting. It's so much about fundraising.
But isn't that what?
It's about so much more than X's and O's. Whereas with the NFL, it's X's and O's.
Isn't that what he did in the NFL, though? He won with Brady, who nobody knew about. He had a bunch of no-name receivers going out there and winning games. He's a pretty good talent evaluator.
He is. I think the receivers with no names, I think that was more Brady than it was Belichick. But he's a great coach. He is. I
think he might be over the hill, though.
I don't know that he's a great college coach. I think he's a great NFL coach. Right. Do you feel better now?
Yeah.
He's a great NFL coach.
Okay. I'll put him 2, though.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
So you've got the top 4 filled here.
Okay.
You're hoping for bad coaches at this point. Yeah.
If James Franklin pops up, we put him 5. He might be a little bit lower than most, but I think we got the top 4.
Okay.
Next coach is Mike Norvell, Florida State.
Man, he's a tough one.
He hasn't been good. He was once.
I feel like the way that his teams.
He almost was the Alabama head coach. Think about that. That's crazy.
I feel like the way that his teams have kind of quit on him twice now. He's got to get docked for that.
Yeah.
6 or 7, I would say.
7, I would
6, 7.
Oh.
Wow. Steve.
8, 9.
So we're going 7?
Sure.
7.
Okay. How about the new Stanford coach, Tavita Pritchard? We don't know anything about him.
9.
Right? Commanders quarterback coach.
I mean, I would almost put him 10 just because you would feel better about probably anybody. I mean, maybe he's it turns out to be a good coach. We just don't know anything about it. I'd put him 10. Put him 10.
Okay, 10.
Manny Diaz, Duke head coach.
He's good.
ACC champion.
Now you hope you don't get Franklin.
Former Miami coach.
So we could go 5 or 6 here. We can put him 6.
But then, okay, I would go 5.
5? Okay.
5.
Putting Diaz at 5. So now you guys have 6, 8, and 9 remaining with 3 more spins.
We're in pretty good shape here.
Yeah, I think so.
Pat Narduzzi.
Oh.
Yeah, 6.
All right.
Solid 6.
He's a really probably just you kind of know what you're getting, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of his style, but at the same time, you got to give it up for him.
Yeah.
He's almost like Tomlin in the same town,
Right, yeah.
you know? He just wins. All right, James Franklin, you got screwed.
Yeah, we did.
8 or 9 left.
I got to put him at 8, but yeah, that's the one I would.
But it's blind rankings.
That was the one name I was worried about.
That's the life you chose in blind rankings.
There's some good coaches left, including one Fran Brown here.
Yeah.
With 9, our only available spot. We spin it one last time. We get Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, I'm fine with
That's
that.
good.
Put
Yeah.
him at 9. I think we got it right with the exception of Franklin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty
Good
close.
job. Good work, kids.
We talked our way through it. All right, let's take our final timeout. We'll wrap things up next on ESPN Radio.
I was kind of hoping Fran would pop up.
Steve,
That would've been interesting.
do you get offended that I downplay your Division III basketball career?
No. I get it from my kids worse than I get it from you. So.
Like, the fact that you guys don't get that that's what friends do to each other and people that like each other do to each other, it's funny. Steve can bust my balls. It's fine.
The Mets did not make an offer to Pete Alonso.
Wow.
Thank you, Bill. I'm wearing this because the women's game tonight is ugly Christmas sweater.
57 years. You're damn right I haven't played on a team in 57 years. I wasn't even born in 50. Steve, when I was just a sperm, I could ball. I played D2 sperm ball. In a ball. I literally played in a ball. I played ball in a ball. I played CYO. St. Charles, bitch.
Jake Dickard was the next spin. I'm just going to keep spinning till the end.
What's the last show topic or bit that you have brought home to your family, Steve, to talk about?
I don't know.
Fran Brown was the very last spin.
You told them about C3PO.
I did. My kids thought that was hysterical.
Oh, the nugget, the Sesame Street nugget.
Oh, yeah.
I
You
did
were
tell them
telling
that.
everyone about
I told
that.
them the Sesame Street nugget. Yep.
I tell Indy all those things.
Do you?
Yeah. I go, Indy, they made fun of me because I dance with you when I'm cleaning the house. I don't get how you guys, like, as guys, get so offended in sports talk. Like, do you ever go to the bar with your friends and just bust chops? Like, it's how you talk sports. You call your friends stupid. You tell them they're idiots. It's fun. It's sports talk. Like, it's so funny to me. Like, if your friend played D3 and you didn't, and you make fun of him from D3 playing D3, you know he's a better athlete than you, but you still bust his chop. I don't go to the bar anymore, but I hang out with my friends. Do you know what? Oh, my God. I saw a friend from high school who I haven't seen in, like, 4 years, 5 years at the Autry show the other day. And he goes, hey, I've known Paulie since high school. And he goes, Paulie, do you do the trick with the peanut butter in your new dog like you did in high school? right in front of Coach Autry.
That's funny.
I'm not not defensive. What am I being defensive about? I'm just curious, like why you guys are like accusing me of belittling Steve, and I'm just doing. I literally send Steve like reels and videos of showing how important it is for a friendship for one of you to just be mean to the other one at all times. Don't I, Steve?
You do.
It shows that I love you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Except for we were legit arguing on Saturday for about 2 hours over text.
Yeah, now your dad's taking shots at me. I just joked that I played CYO basketball. I cracked the CYO joke. No, you guys, I like all you guys. I bust your chops in the chat, too. No, not crunchy peanut butter. That's tough to clean off. Oh, I got to get this on.
How about, I'm sure you guys saw Brent Pry's going to be the DC for Virginia Tech.
That's a good get.
After they fired him.
Winning the
Really?
Winning the off season.
It came out a couple days ago. He used to work with Franklin, so.
Oh, we already played this one. I don't care. I don't care.
Headphones.
I wonder did Chubby Checker do this with him?
What?
Did he duet with him? Chubby Checker, you're friends with him. Can you text him? The twist. I'm trying to figure out if Chubby Checker actually did a duet with him. I know they did Wipeout with the Beach Boys.
All right, I'm going to show my age here, but I'm a little confused by who the Fat Boys are at the
They're
minute.
Fat Boys.
Thank you.
From the 80s.
Like, you played a James Brown song earlier,
yeah,
right?
They sampled Sex Machine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
it's just
confused
a
me.
sample.
Are they known for covers, or are they known for...
No, it wasn't a cover. Like, it was just a sample of the song that they used in it. Like rappers use samples.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
I got you.
Song fact. This day in music. December 11th is tomorrow, right?
Yes.
I'm waiting. Our internet has been horrible lately.
So the song included lyrics from Chubby Checker. He was set to be included in the music video, but he was in the hospital at the time of filming. He did not appear in the video, but he did appear with them publicly a few times, including at a Sweet 16 party.
Man, you've made it. When you're touring Sweet 16 parties, my computer's frozen up. If you could have one, we're each going to name a band, and then the chat will decide which one of those three they want. All right? Oingo Boingo.
Can I pick country?
Sure.
Thomas Rhett.
Dave Matthews Band, of course.
Okay, there you go. We picked our three favorite bands. Oingo Boingo, Thomas Rhett, Dave Matthews. First one in the chat to vote wins. Thomas Rhett.
Nice.
There you go.
Wow,
Excellent.
Steve, you've done it.
Getting some country on the show. I love it.
There you go. Thomas Rhett.
Okay.
I hope he's easier to find than Fat Boy songs.
All right, Tim, what do you got coming up on Drive Time tonight?
Oh, that's right. I am doing the show live from the Dome because the women's basketball game will be getting going at 7 tonight, 6:45 pregame for that. So I'll be taking your calls still, normal show, even though I will be off location. Be talking about the latest football, coaching staff news, and starting to preview these basketball games a little bit more, whether that be the men's game tomorrow night against St. Joe's and then the women's game tonight as they take on Colgate.
All right.
The Fat Boys say that Tim Leonard's show is an all-you-can-eat buffet of hot takes.
That was one of your better ones.
Thank you.
We got to go. For Paulie, for Tim, I'm Steve. Enjoy the rest of the day. Stay safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.